A Scottsbluff man who was on the lam from local authorities in a theft case has been sentenced to jail. KNEB.TV News starts right now.
From your trusted source for news in western Nebraska and eastern Wyoming, this is KNEB.TV News. Presented by Platte Valley Companies, premier provider of financial services.
Hello, I'm Ryan Murphy. This is KNEB.TV News powered by Platte Valley Companies. Thanks for joining me. In our top story, the Scottsbluff man who was charged with stealing a trailer back in 2022 has been sentenced on amended charges. 41-year-old Eric Navas Suarez was arrested last year after a Scottsbluff police officer heard tires squealing near the intersection of 27th Street and Avenue I and found a vehicle towing a trailer that still had chains on the wheels. Last month, Navas Suarez back in court and pleaded no contest to an amended charge of theft by unlawful taking. Yesterday, Scottsbluff County Judge Chris Mickey sentenced him to 6 months in jail with credit for 47 days already served. Well, a Cheyenne man accused of sexually assaulting a 14-year-old girl at his property in Banner County last week was back in court. 69-year-old Randy Soule is charged with attempted first-degree sexual assault, third-degree sexual assault of a child, assault by strangulation, terroristic threats, second-degree assault, and assault causing bodily injury. Court records say the girl worked for Soule, cleaning up property he owned in Harrisburg. During that time, he reportedly groped her, suggested she performed sexual acts in nature, and threatened to slit the girl's throat and limbs if she told anybody about the assaults. During last week's hearing, the court allowed the victim's phone to be forensically examined by the state and the taking of several future witnesses' depositions. A future hearing date has been set for March 2nd. We'll have more news right after this.
Swipe right, swipe left, endlessly searching. Finding the perfect match isn't always perfect, but it can be when it comes to finances. Nora found the perfect business loan. Jenny opened her first savings account. Grammy loves her checking account. We found a match for Wilson Farms. The Sandersons were matched with a mortgage. Regardless of your financial situation, Platte Valley Bank will match you with the perfect solution. Find your match at Platte Valley Bank.
Back. The Nebraska Legislature's Business and Labor Committee heard testimony this week on a measure that would create a paid family and medical leave insurance program in the state. Among other provisions, LB 57 would provide partial wage replacement for eligible workers to care for themselves or a family member experiencing a serious illness, or to care for a new child through birth, foster care, or adoption. Bill sponsor Omaha Senator Michaela Cavanaugh told the committee that the program would help attract out-of-state workers, help protect lower-income Nebraskans, and family caregivers to the benefit of both employees and employers.
This would offer them the opportunity to get paid a portion of their income while taking time off to be that caregiver and come back to the job. And that also means that the employer doesn't have to go through the expense and time of finding somebody to replace and train up for that job. So this would be a huge shift for that caregiver workforce.
The program would be financed through employer contributions, with those offering private insurance or programs with equal or better benefits allowed to opt out, and the self-employed could opt in. The committee, however, took no action on the bill. Well, in his monthly Mid-America Business Conditions Index survey of supply managers, Creighton University economics professor Ernie Goss says the January reading declined slightly to 47 points, which was below growth neutral and the lowest number since the pandemic in May of 2020. Goss notes it's also the lowest January reading since the 2008 recession.
We ask about the threats to the firms, the businesses, the economy, what they judge as the top, and supply chain disruptions were number one, higher input prices number two, and recession number three. So what was surprising is finding and hiring qualified workers. Labor shortages was not in the top six, so that was a surprise to me.
Hiring fell below growth neutral in January, with 26% of those surveyed reporting workforce reductions, and Goss expects unemployment and job losses to increase slightly in the weeks ahead. He says the outlook is slow to no to negative growth, basically flatlining for the current quarter, and probably the second quarter as well. And a Nebraska Department of Correctional Services employee has been arrested following an investigation into a reported sexual assault of a coworker. State Patrol investigators received a report regarding an assault that had occurred at the Tecumseh State Correctional Institution back in October. On Monday, investigators arrested 33-year-old James Cherry at his home in Humboldt for first-degree sexual assault and third-degree sexual assault, and he was booked into the Johnson County Jail.
Winter is here, and at Renewal by Andersen, we've gotten used to these words from our clients. Wow, our house is so much warmer with our new windows from Renewal by Andersen. There is no place like home, a warm, comfortable home on a bitter winter night. And Renewal by Andersen's windows installed by our certified professionals can significantly reduce your heating bills, make your home secure, wonderfully warm, and welcoming. Scan that QR code, visit rbawyoming.com now. Warm up at home with Renewal by Andersen this winter. rbawyoming.com.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Now, sports from the FNBO Sports Desk. FNBO, the Great Big Small Bank.
Hoops, records, and some football out of Lincoln for our Thursday update today. We'll start with home basketball tonight for the WNCC men's team as they'll take on North Platte Community College up at Cougar Palace. A key matchup in the South Subregion standings. Both these teams sitting at 2-2 currently. The Cougars are coming off a loss at Lamar on Tuesday. North Platte, they also dropped a game on Tuesday, falling to NJC. Men's action only tonight with the Cougars hosting North Platte. Chuck Schwartz has it on KOLT starting at about 5:45 for the pregame show. It was a record-setting night at Gering on Tuesday as the Gering boys won their sixth straight game. That six-game winning streak, though, that little storyline had to take a back seat as Max Greeley stole the show. A night for the record books on senior night, scoring a new Gering school record, 50 points. The previous record was 41 points, so Greeley blew past that number, finishing off that 50-point game with a free throw late in the fourth quarter as Gering rolled past Torrington 82-42. Now Gering gets set for a girls and boys road doubleheader tomorrow at Sidney before hosting Chase County on Saturday. Scottsbluff, they'll play at Alliance tomorrow, and then the Bearcats are at Sidney on Saturday. It's a key stretch of games for all four of those schools this weekend with plenty of coverage across the Rural Radio Network. And let's close things out today as we head east to Lincoln, where yesterday Matt Rhule met with the media to wrap up Husker football and their signing period. Rhule touched on a number of topics, including how recruiting will work for his program.
Yeah, Nebraska, we should recruit well. We will always probably appeal to a certain mindset. It has to be someone who really likes football. Has to be someone who also wants to go to school. Has to be someone that wants to be developed on and off the field. It has to be someone who likes to work. But the brand itself, the fan base, the town, the city of Lincoln, and the facilities, I think a lot of those things are unparalleled. They're unmatched.
As for his first class, it's being ranked in the mid to upper 20s by some outlets, including 24/7 Sports, and the head coach clearly likes to get him some speed.
And I do know that track times and triple jumps and 40-yard dashes, that doesn't mean you're a great football player. But when I'm not sure, those things guide you, right? They're just a rock that you can kind of lean on. And so when I see a kid who's a 47-foot triple jumper and, likes football, I'm going to take a chance on him. And so if they have the right mental. And so I like some of those things that we were able to bring in.
Matt Rhule meeting with the media yesterday after wrapping up this 2023 recruiting class. That is the latest today from right here at the FNBO Sports Desk. I'm Chris Cottrell.
The Evergreen Credit Card by FNBO. Earn unlimited 2% cash back on every purchase. Every day. Everywhere. Never worry about expiring points or category restrictions. Plus, there's no annual fee. Only from the Great Big Small Bank. A bank ever ready for you to earn more, wherever life leads. Evergreen by FNBO.
Morrill County Community Hospital and the behavioral health providers are here to help. Amber Dean specializes in mental health care, which includes medication and therapy across a person's lifespan. Melody Lacey helps people deal with a wide range of behavioral problems, from depression and anxiety to child psychiatry. Our dedicated team is committed to you and our community every time. At Morrill County Community Hospital, Bridgeport, Nebraska. Exceptional care right here at home.
Well, let's take a look what's happening on today's community calendar. The community calendar is brought to you by Riverstone Bank. Community strong with the people you know and trust.
Culture trumps everything else.
In my years, I've never worked for a company that treats people the way this one does.
It is my passion for agriculture that brought me here in the first place, but not only that, there's a huge family-oriented atmosphere within the 21st Century Equipment.
I love working for 21st. They found something in me that I didn't know in myself. An intern to where I'm at now is such a great opportunity, and that is what this company is about.
At Platte Valley Bank, we want to help you plan for tomorrow while you enjoy today. Our personalized trust services can help you do just that. You've worked hard to build your legacy, and you want to make sure that gets passed on for generations to come. We offer the professional guidance necessary to ensure that happens, according to your wishes. We pride ourselves in being friendly and professional while offering a highly tailored full line of trust and estate planning services to accommodate you. You belong here.
And finally tonight, the West Nebraska Arts Center will be presenting their annual image show this month with an opening reception Thursday from 5 to 7 p.m. Program Director Stephanie Coley told KNB News that the photography show will include Western landscapes, animals, abstract, manipulated photos, and more. She says they hope to bring in some images that you have never seen before.
We have quite a few people taking part that I have never met, so I'm happy people coming out of the woodworks or just finally getting it over to the Art Center.
She added the entries come from people of all ages because people are creating art even when they don't realize they're doing so.
You know, some people don't realize that they're artists. They don't realize that you're actually doing art. You just don't think it is. So we like to foster all ages and hopefully produce more artists in the world. Well, people who think they're artists.
Ken Kurtz of Spectrum Photographics is the judge for this year's exhibit, and monetary prizes will be given for the most awards. The image photography exhibit will be on display at the West Nebraska Arts Center until February 26th. Well, that does it for us this time. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay safe out there. We'll see you here next time.